It's been a while since I have filmed one of my uncut videos, and you have given me feedback that a lot of you enjoy these videos. So let's do this. Apologies for my voice. As you can hear, I'm fighting a cold, but I am totally fine. It's just my nose that is a bit stuffed. Opening this, I realize how much I tend to go for this kind of a format. Look at these. They're so cute together, aren't they? So this one is a design team project. I will link this video for you below in case you have never seen this one. I go through it pretty much beginning to end, showing you how I made the cover and how I insert the pages with these fabric pieces, etc., etc. Then this is of course my most recent design team project. This is a soft spine junk journal inspired by Susie from Shabby Soul. Really like this one as well, and I love how these are sewn in. So I will also link this series for you below in case you want to see how I made that. Again, this is pretty much step by step. And this one, in case you haven't seen this because it's been months since I have worked in this, maybe you're new to my channel, this is my little art journal. And I love this. The size is just so fabulous, and it's so huggable and squishy and just so fabulous. Again, I will link the series with this one below as well. You can see how I made the cover and the pages, etc., etc. And today I want to do something very low-key. Some of these pages are sticking. I get asked this question a lot. What do you do when your pages stick together? This mostly happens when you add acrylic paints, like I have here. What I like to do, which is the fastest solution for me, is to take a piece of a regular candle, wax that was dripping off a white candle, and I'm just going to rub over those parts that stick, because you can't see it. You can feel the difference. It definitely feels waxy. I kind of like that feeling. But this means this is never going to stick again. It's not glossy. It's not anything. You can't see it. The other alternative, if for some reason you don't like to add wax, is to add baby powder. So I would probably put some baby powder like on the side and take a brush and then brush it over, and then kind of just like tap it off and brush it off, all the excess. Some of it will be visible though, so I like the candle option better. But I'm also just thinking now, I've actually never done that, is to use one of these. I have baby powder in here, and usually you would use this for embossing when you want to make sure that the embossing powder doesn't stick everywhere. So these are just some cut up nylons. And why not just go like this? That's probably better than just using the loose powder, because only a very little bit comes off. But see, you see here, you can see where I have added the powder. So let's see. Yeah, it comes off, but it will still prevent your page from sticking. So those might be some really good alternatives if you are struggling with that, especially if you are, working with a lot of different mediums and especially acrylic paint. Oh, and if you're wondering about this container, this is actually something I found here locally. It's actually meant to store like either lemons or onions or something like that. And I think it's perfect for my little, I don't know what it's called. Obviously, you can also just use a jar. Okay, so it's kind of interesting looking at this now after a few months, because I have kind of lost my connection with it, which is kind of good because that will enable me to add some things that I wouldn't have added otherwise probably. So I want this little journal to reflect the things that are currently in my life. Just trying to think, when did I start this? I must have started this May or June last year because I made this in the art journal festival that I attended. And I think that was either May or June last year. So it has been a while. And usually I would totally lose interest after a while, but I am happy to say that I'm still happy to work in this. There's plenty of space. I also want to add like maybe some words or phrases, not like lyrics or sentiments or anything like that, but words that are currently in my mind, that are currently keeping my mind busy. This is my mom, by the way. Because of the things that are happening in my life. Because that's just another way of documenting your life. You know, instead of just writing journal entries, you could just add things in this way. Okay, so this was sticky here. Let's add some candle to that as well. So fun going through this again. It's so different from my other styles of journals. Yeah, there was a sticker from the Vienna Art Journal Festival. Unfortunately, it only says 23. It was either May or June. Okay, so let's pick something to add here. I thought I would add something from here because I gave my hubby an early birthday present. And this is what it was packaged in, and so I want to use some of that. Obviously, I took the packaging after he unpacked it because he would have just thrown it away. I'm assuming I'm not the only one doing that. You give a present, and if that person is going to throw it away, we're going to take the wrapping back, aren't we? And interestingly, I saw before that I have a piece of this here already, so I think it's cool to add it somewhere else in the journal. So where could we add this? And some of this here as well. This was, by the way, also the paper that I used on my desk for Defemember. I think it might have been 2022. I have quite a bit of this left over, so I like using that for wrapping things. So what do we do with this? You know what, let's make a belly band. I don't do fancy things in this journal. This is just for when I want to just kind of relax, have a chat with you, and do something where I feel a little bit creative. And it would make me so happy if you are also working on something while you have this video on. That's really cute, and I don't even need to distress it. So I will take this to my sewing machine and just stitch here and here. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. I can actually tell you what was in this package. You might be familiar with it. I decided to gift my hubby, and I've also bought one for myself, a DNA kit from myheritage.com, not sponsored in any way. And so we want to check our heritage, and I think that is so interesting. I'm super curious about my hubby because he is Egyptian, but he doesn't look Egyptian. So I'm so curious what we're going to find out about his ancestors, and also mine. I think I know some of mine, but it's so interesting to get the full picture. So when we're both in Egypt, especially in tourist areas like Hurghada or Sharm el-Sheikh, they always think we're both like European tourists, which is so funny. And then they're always amazed when my hubby starts speaking Arabic or, let's say, Egyptian. It's so funny. So I'm trying to find something that I could add on top here. In my recent video where I organized some more of my distress oxides and inks, I kind of switched up my setup on my craft desk, and I have these boxes now a lot more visible and closer to me, in the hope that I will use these pieces, because I haven't been using these for months and months. And why? I mean, there's beautiful pieces in here. It's such a shame if I don't use them. So I'd love to find something that works here. What does this say? For you from Art Allerlei. It would work. Actually, I really like it. Doesn't really make much sense, but I like it, and that's all that counts. Okay, see, lesson: don't leave your art glitter glue open, not even for 2 minutes, because it dries so fast that then you have to unclog it before you keep working with it. Because you see, this has gold on the edges. I don't know how well you can see that, and so it fits really well onto this page. So I had a pile, actually I still have it somewhere, a pile of things that I used to work in here, but I'm kind of over that pile, so I want to grab new things that I have around me. One thing I have is this original vintage paper, which does not fit. Obviously I could just cut it down. I also found this here. This is from a previous digital kit. I'm not even sure which one now, to be honest. But I could just stick that in here and then maybe add some writing on the back. How about that? Let's just add some writing, because I don't think I have any journaling in here yet. Not really. No, that's a shame. Usually I would not write with purple, but I cannot find my black pen and I cannot bother to go looking for it right now. So I think I'll just write about this DNA kit for a second, and I might speed that up because that is truly boring for you. I also have to remember to date things, because, for example, I should have dated this. Then I would know when I started it, but oh well. I also gifted my BFF one of these DNA kits, because she said she always wanted to do that. So I thought it would be fun if the three of us could do it together. Basically, you just take a swatch from both of your cheeks on the inside and you mail it in, and it goes to Germany, and it takes, I think, 3 to 4 weeks until they send you an email and you can check the results online. So super fun. Maybe that's a gift idea for someone. This here is quite plain. Maybe I can find something. Not that. Maybe we can make like a little cluster. I also have this. This is from an envelope that Louise had sent me. Nope, not feeling that there. Okay, let's just make a little fun cluster here on the corner. It's kind of helpful to have your scraps separate into different sizes, because this now actually made it quite easy to find pieces. I'll just ink this little flower up. So let's glue top down. It's the easiest. Oh, I also have these here. These came in a package from Nadia from Art Allerlei, and they are the tiniest dragonflies. Can you see that they're dragonflies? How cute are these? So why not add one of these? Actually, let's just take a white one. Oh, I love it. Let's do that. Let's add some throughout this little journal. So Nadja is Art Allerlei on Instagram. She doesn't have a YouTube channel. And she's the one that made the most amazing journal for me, which I bought, I don't know, what is it, like 3 years ago now, I think, at least. And I filmed a lot of my junk journal snacks videos in that journal. Aww, how cute is that? Makes me so happy when I use these tiny parts. Did I journal anything? I did. I only made this little tag and it makes me so happy. July 5th, 2023. I remember that. That is funny. So, shall we add something here maybe? How about we just make another cluster here? It's really great to have these pieces, just paper scraps where you just go over it with your sewing machine, or also obviously you could do hand sewing if you don't have a sewing machine. And then you have these bits ready to go. They are so cool to have for collages. Look at that, so many options. Love it. Actually, how about this one? And then we could choose some colors that work with the other colors. I usually would not choose this green to go here, but it's also about doing things maybe you wouldn't normally do. Kind of like it. What else? I have some pieces here from palm tree leaves, which my hubby brought me from Egypt. Totally does not work there. Love these pieces. I could add one underneath here. Yes, I'm liking that. And a lace scrap. Oh, some dyed cheesecloth. Always fun to add. But maybe not on this one, even though the color works, but I'm not seeing it here unless I add like a little focal point on top. Then this would be fun, but then this would need to go here and this on top, and then we need to find something to go right there in the middle. I mean, obviously we could always add a button, but that is a bit bulky. So let's see, what else do we have? This is just as bulky. It would work, but it's too bulky. Nope, can't do that. No, don't want the red. I want something neutral. Ooh, there is a heart. Interesting color combination. Tea bag labels are great. Always love those. Maybe we'll do that instead. We could even stamp something on that. Oh, I like it. Okay, what can we stamp on it? Let me go through my stamps. And again, I left my glitter glue open. Don't do that, Barbara. I found these two, and I think this one would be really cute as a stamp on here. And these, and also these two boxes, came from the most incredible Japanese stationery box, which was available a few years back. I don't think they're available anymore. I will link my video with the unboxing. It's an unboxing with just music. It is the most incredible stationery box I have ever received in my life. And there was a really long waiting list for it, and they were quite expensive, but so worth it. I am still, to this day, happy to have some of the amazing Japanese papers, which I have obviously been hoarding, but go watch that video if you've never seen it. It is such eye candy. So if you need something calming and beautiful, then please watch that. Linked below. Oh, look how cute. Oh, I love this. And these are hand carved. I mean, they're just adorable. I mean, all these boxes, everything was handmade. Look, these boxes are made from rulers. If you're crafty, maybe that's something you want to look at as well. And I guess this is a Tim Holtz metallic label. I'm so in love with these boxes. Oh, that's just adorable. Okay, let's do this. Let's do top down again. And something else I'm so excited about is this coming weekend, another birthday present actually, but this time for my brother and his wife. And I talked this a little bit about in one of my previous videos where I was going through my planner, that we're going to a hand pan workshop. So I've been to one with my BFF and she's coming again as well because we were both so in love. And if you've never seen what a hand pan looks like, or what that music sounds like, I suggest you look it up on YouTube. Just put in hand pan music. It is the most incredible warm sound to me. It really sounds like a warm hug. It's used a lot of time for meditation, but you can do any kind of music on these instruments. And I am so excited to be able to play one of these again. Well, play in quotes, because I don't know how to play, nor do I even know how to get a nice sound out of them. You know what? I'm going to make this into a tuck spot, not just a cluster. So I want to try again. I don't think I'll be any better. But those instruments are so beautiful and I'm not giving up yet. So I'm so happy we can try this again. They are very expensive, which is why I don't just want to buy one and then see if I end up playing it, because it's just too expensive for that. I mean, good ones I think are like 1,800 euros upwards. And I don't just want to get a cheap one, because then you're not going to be happy with the sound. And then if you manage to keep playing and you get better and you want to buy a better instrument, I have the feeling it's very hard to sell these because it's such a niche instrument. Okay, we have a little tuck spot here now. I think I need to glue this down here as well. Okay, so it's a small tuck spot, so maybe I could just add this paper. Oh, I could just fold it. And it could be sticking out. Why not? Yep. Okay, so I can add some journaling there. So let me do that off camera quickly. Okay, wrote some things about it. And the cool thing about handpan instruments is that you don't need to be able to read notes, which I cannot. I'm not musical in any way. But this is something that anybody could learn. It's a skill, and that's why I really like it. Instead of the notes, you have either numbers or even letters. I've seen letters as well, but we learned it with numbers. Okay, so we have that documented. Awesome. Let's move a little bit further so that we don't have everything in one spot. These are all my mom, by the way, in case you haven't seen the previous videos. Obviously, she had to have dragonfly wings because she's a dragonfly mom. Okay, here she has butterfly wings. I'm not sure what that's all about, but that just happened. We're not judging here, we're just playing. Let's not forget to close the art glitter glue. And for those of you that are not familiar with the art glitter glue, oh no, I waited too long. Now it's so hard that I can't even put the needle in. Oh no! Ah, bummer. It's totally stuck. Okay, okay, got it. So I was saying, for those of you that don't know about the art glitter glue, oh, and now my dangle came off. No, what is happening today? I was just going to say, if you're wondering why I have a dangle or why you need a dangle, it's because when you just have the pin, it doesn't come with this pin. It comes like with a pin that has like a round plastic head, and they are thicker than your regular pins that you would use for your sewing. But you can also use these, I think they're called head pins, not sure, or eye pins. I think the ones with the loop are called eye pins. So the reason why you want a dangle on it is because otherwise you lose your pin on your craft desk, obviously. But this is completely falling apart. So this is a dangle I made myself. Obviously, I did not close the jump rings well enough. And I made this using a tutorial, a really old one actually, by, I think it's Tracy Fox. So if you search on YouTube for Tracy Fox glue bottle dangle, you will find her tutorial and you can make a beautiful dangle. So I just want to put that back on the bottle. And I just realized I can't because my two jewelry tweezers that I have are in the other room and my hubby is sleeping and I don't want to wake him. So I'll do that later. But it's a really cute dangle, I think. Anyway, it's closed, so that's good. Actually, why not add this cute pocket to the journal, and I can just put the dragonflies in here. Because that way I will hopefully remember to use them more often if I see them loose like this, because this has a great size for my journal. Okay, let's find a page. That could be okay. I would love something that has maybe some yellow on an opposite side, but it doesn't have to be. I'm flexible. Doesn't have to be like this art journal for me does not have to be all matchy. I kind of would like to have it on a right page because I want these things sticking out. Put it here on the back cover. This is made out of canvas, by the way, onto which I have brayered some acrylic paints and then stenciled. It would fit here, wouldn't it? Let's do that. Oh, take the pin out, Barbara. So that's 2 pockets now. Do we want to add anything else here maybe? We could stamp, I should have done that before I put it on here. Stamp 49 and then add maybe another one of these little dragonflies. Yeah, let me get my stamps. So I have this little set here. This is the one I also use for stamping my calendar in my planner for the monthly. So 4. That's very wonky. It's okay. This journal is about letting go of perfectionism as well. And then we need a dragonfly. What color do we choose? Oh, I think I'll just go with a white one. it's okay. Not my best work. Then I also want to add something related to my health journey at the moment, meaning my meal and training plan. So maybe you've seen in my planner video that I started a training program with a fitness coach for the first time in my life. And I'm learning lots of new things. So I want to add some of these words and maybe also a little bit of journaling in here. So I'm going to go to my vintage typewriter and type some words out. So as I was typing calorie deficit, I realized that somehow it looks wrong. So yeah, of course I spelled it wrong. So I typed it again here. So it's caloric deficit, or a calorie is spelled with IE, of course, at the end and not with a Y, Barbara. And then I wrote here changing body composition. So I'll just cut those out. So I'm currently tracking my food with an app called MyFitnessPal. If you're into tracking food, I'm assuming you are familiar with that app. It's really great for tracking your food. But of course, tracking food is super tedious. And in the past, when I've tracked my food, I would always only look at the calories. But this is the first time I'm realizing I also need to look at the split of the macros. Meaning that besides the calorie count, I also need to look at the ratio between my protein, fat, and carbs. And the amount of protein I'm supposed to eat per day seems super high to me. I mean, not that I'm doubting that that is what I should be doing, but I've never ever had to eat this much protein, and I am struggling. Especially because I don't eat a lot of meat, so I'm trying to make that happen with protein powder, vegan protein powder. I don't want to take the whey protein powder, which is animal-based. And lots of yogurt with lots of protein and not a lot of fat. And I have the feeling I'm kind of eating protein all day, and I'm still struggling to get in the amount I need to get in. But I'm thinking it's a good thing, because if it's something I've never tried before, maybe this is something I've been doing wrong my whole life. And of course, as women, especially as we get older, we need a lot of protein, and that's something I have been completely neglecting. So that, in combination with 2 times a week of weight training, is something completely new for me. Of course, I do cardio in between as well, but I am so interested in seeing how my body is going to change within a few months. And I realize this is not a quick process. It's going to take long. And I just really hope I can stay motivated. Okay, we need something to put this on. Anyway, I want to make something that I can journal on in here. And of course, I still have all of these lovely scraps. These are, of course, from Defemorember. Most of these are from Louise, but some of these are from when I was working on some pages and I had some scraps left. Oh, how about this one? Because look how amazing the colors fit to this one. Let's try that. Oh yeah, let's round the corners. And the thing with me is also that once I start a program like that, I don't do anything half-ass. So it's all or nothing for me, meaning I'm going to obsess over numbers, which is not a good thing. Do we need to ink the edges? No, we do not. So wait, let's just think about this. This goes in here, and then we could have that on top. So it's challenging enough now at the beginning, of course, because I'm still learning or relearning what I'm supposed to be eating. But the really big challenge is when you're invited somewhere. So in a few days, for example, I'm invited at a girlfriend's house with some of my other girlfriends, and they were all going to order pizza. Now, obviously, I cannot do that. So I'm going to have to bring my own food, which is okay, you know, when you're at a friend's house, that's totally fine. But eating out at the moment completely stresses me out. It makes me anxious because I have no idea what's in the food. How am I going to track that? How am I going to add that to the app with correct amounts? And I don't even know what's in the food that's being cooked. So that really stresses me out at the moment. So I'm trying to eat home as much as possible, obviously. Okay, let me journal a little bit on the back side. So I can actually read you what I wrote here. It's not about what the scale says, it's about adding muscles and reducing fat. By the way, muscle and fat have the same weight, because that is a misconception that I had as well. Fat takes up more space, so fat has more volume than muscle, which is why once you're able to change fat to muscle, you're going to look slimmer, even though the scale is not going to show you less weight. So I feel like that's something I need to keep in mind when the scale doesn't change, so that I don't lose my motivation. And by the way, I even canceled our vacation plans because we were supposed to go to the US in February. I hadn't booked the flight yet because there were too many questions still for me to actually book a flight. But the plan was always to go to the US in February, 2 weeks with my hubby. But because I'm doing this program and I had to commit for 3 months, there's no way I can do that in the middle of the program. So currently my plan is to finish the program. So if it's 3 months, it would go until the 3rd week of April. And then hopefully we can go on this vacation, and then I come back, and either I will continue with the current coach I have, or I will feel far enough along that I say I can do it by myself, which I don't see happening right now, but you never know. I'm just at the beginning of the journey right now. So you see, I am dedicated, I am motivated, and now this cold is totally in my way. I don't even know if I'm supposed to train with the cold. I'm going to text my coach and see what he says about that, because I really, really don't want to mess up my training now, just when I started getting going, you know. So I think I'll take this to my typewriter again and type overcoming obstacles on this as well. So let's cut this one out as well and find a page to put this on, because I think it's also important to acknowledge that it's never going to be a linear journey. Life will always throw obstacles in your way, no matter what you're trying to achieve. And we need to be okay with that. We need to expect it and not lose motivation when the first obstacle comes. That's something I need to remind myself of as well, because it's so easy to get frustrated and to just give up. But currently my mind is so set and I feel so strong mentally that I can't see that happening. But you never know, things change quickly. So I want to put something else underneath here. Let's try this one. And I just want future Barbara to be proud of myself, you know? So I'm thinking of her while I'm on this journey. Okay, let's find a place for that. I also want to journal about this then. So I guess we can see if we can find a pocket. Otherwise, we need to make a pocket. This is so bland. Oh, I could just journal on here. Let's put this here. But it needs something else. It needs a pop of color here. Let's check our basket. No, not feeling it. Yeah. Nope. I see some wallpaper here. How about this one? Let's try that. Yeah, I think I like that better, and I'm not going to ink it up. Is anyone else on a health journey at the moment? The new year, I think, is always a good time to start with something new. It's all right. Maybe we can add another little dragonfly, huh? How about a turquoise one for another pop of color? Oh, that's perfect. See, if they're out, then you're more likely to use them. Yeah, that's a good one. And should we maybe add some of this here? We could cut that leaf off here on the bottom. Let's do it. Let's get rid of this one. Oh my goodness, what did I just do? Oh my goodness, I'm gonna leave it. It's okay. Good lesson, again, to leave perfectionism out of this journal. It's a good reminder. So thank you for that, universe. We get the lessons we need, right? At least it helps to tell yourself that, I find. And then, you know, because we're sticking this in here, what if we take this leaf, which is the one we just cut off, maybe add another one. And do something like that so that they go together. Yep. Okay, let's add some journaling here. So apparently I'm feeling very philosophical today. And I wrote, journeys are rarely linear. Be prepared to face obstacles along the way. They will make reaching your end goal so much more worthwhile. So I found 2 more pieces from Louise. So this one is a scrap, and this one was a tag that she apparently printed out. I'm assuming it's her own digital. And she wrote a note in German. And this was from an unboxing where she also sent me her incredible Ephemerimber journal, which I'm still blown away about. And Effie had sent me some pom-poms because I had so many problems making the pom-poms in the video for the prompt Halloween meets Christmas. Oh, and by the way, if you want to see where Louise's Ephemerimber journal is, let me show that to you. So there's my journal shelf. And this here is mine from last Ephemerimber 23. This is the one Louisa made for me for Ephemerimber 2022. And this is the one that Louisa was working in, one of the two, because you know she makes both English and German videos. So she actually had two journals. And this is Louisa's. And this big one here is the one I made after Ephemerimber 2021. Because for that Ephemerimber we only made ephemera, and then I made a journal afterwards to put everything into. Oh, and since I have you here, by the way, this one here is Nadja's journal that I was talking about earlier. It's even more fat than this one from Ephemerimber 2022. This is an absolute beast, but I love it dearly. Okay, let me put you back down. So I'm just wondering now if these are too matchy-matchy. You know, because this journal is so colorful, which I'm really enjoying. Maybe it's too much. I want this on a right side. This could be okay. Let's keep that one in mind. Nope. This is one of my favorite pages. It's so simple, but I love it so much. Nope. Oh, I said the right page. You could also have it as a top tuck spot. Maybe that would be more interesting, but not on this page. No. Oh, I guess it could be on a left page if it's a top loading tuck spot, but that is too matchy-matchy on that page. Let's put it here. I don't know why. I think because I don't want to search any longer. I have to admit this cold is kicking my butt. I have a headache, which I never ever do, thankfully. So now I've just made a decision actually, because now this is too large to go in here. So that's not going to happen. Maybe this should go in my Ephemerimber journal. I'll think about that. Another sentiment I want to add up here is consistency is key. And I found this packaging here for my glue eraser. By the way, if you don't have a glue eraser, you need one. I discovered glue erasers years into my journey, just a few months ago. And it's a game changer. So this is what they look like. I don't know if they all look like that, but they are so amazing. They will actually erase your glue if it seeps out from underneath somewhere. Once it's dry though, these are amazing. They're like magic. I got mine in the Netherlands. I'm sure there's many other brands. This is the number in case you want to check this one out. Glue R001, designed by Nelly Snellen. But I can use this packaging. So I'll put this in my typewriter and see if I can type on this. It's fairly stiff and it's a little glossy, so let's see how that goes. Okay, so that worked. So let's cut this one out. I'll ink this one. I don't know why. Do you always need a reason for things? I don't know. Of course, when you're making a video, you always feel like you should explain your decisions. But sometimes it's really just intuition. So I found this piece of note paper in my Defemember basket. Okay, so I wrote, even when you don't see results as fast as you would have hoped, keep being consistent. It will pay off in the long run. Trust the process and never give up. That kind of relates also to junk journaling, I have the feeling. Especially, I think, when you're a beginner. Just trust the process. Don't give up. And that's as much as I can do today, because honestly, I think I'm just going to lay down. I also don't think my voice is so enjoyable to listen to at the moment. So stay healthy and creative. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.